Yeah. Guilty. We back in this thing again for another review. Alright. This is Q's Insight. I am Callie, and today we here to talk about a movie called See No Evil. Alright. Now this is an older movie that came out in 2006. Okay. And this is a WWE film, which was back then WWF. And the main character being played by Kane. And the character's name on this movie is called Jacob Goodnight. All right, so a scary movie for a scary wrestler named Kane. All right, so like I said, this movie came out in 2006. Okay, now if you've been to this channel before, we started off with the premise. 3 favorite scenes: left, right, 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 and then the grade. Okay, all right. So See No Evil. Here we go. This is the premise. So you have a situation in which there's a character named Jacob Goodnight, and he is bred by another character named Margaret. Okay. She teaches him about sins and about being clairvoyant to people that he may encounter, and seeing those sins and punishing them for the sins that they've committed. Okay. Obviously this the character Jacob Goodnight was a heavily disturbed character, abused while being young, used by this character named Margaret. All right, so she basically groomed a monster. Okay, now when Jacob Goodnight gets older, in the beginning of the movie, we see a situation in which there's a character. He's a police officer named Mr. Williams. All right, he goes in with his partner. They've been called to investigate this certain house for noise disturbances and whatever else it may be. Right? They go to the house. The character Jacob Goodnight surprises them. He ends up. I'm giving too much info. Okay. So in the beginning of the movie, like I said, we see Jacob Knight. He encounters some police officers. We see a situation happen in which he's kidnapped a innocent civilian, which so happens to be a female. Okay. One of the officers goes down. The character of Mr. Williams stays alive, but he's injured. He gets injured. He gets his arm chopped off. All right. Then we fast forward to the future. We see that Mr. Williams is taking command of this detention center program where they basically go out for community service. Now, it just so happens that we're introduced to a few characters. All right. We have Kira. We have Tyson. We have Michael, we have Richie, we have Zoe, we have Melissa, and we have Russell. Okay, now these are all younger kids that, for whatever reason, are in detention center and also are serving certain hours for community service. Now they get tasked with having to go serve their community service at this old hotel. Just so happens that this old hotel is where is where Margaret and Jacob Goodnight is currently residing at. This is where they've been holding their little games that they play, right? So lo and behold, one after another, certain characters get picked off. We end up finding more out about Jacob Goodnight's past and how, you know, he became to be. And like I said, majority of what was his programming through his mind was done by Margaret. Okay. By the end of the movie, like I said, certain characters are gone, certain characters are still alive. We end up seeing a situation where in which we think that Jacob Goodnight is gone, but is he really gone? All right. So that's how I end the premise of this movie. So if you've seen the movie, you already know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the movie, hopefully that's enough information to make you want to go and watch the movie now. And then come back so you can hear the rest of the stuff that I say, because the rest of the stuff that I may say is going to be spoilerish for sure. Okay. But if you haven't seen the movie and you don't care and you will go check it out, or you don't want to check it out, but you just want to hear what I got to say, that's fine as well. Stay tuned. But like I said, if you want to go see the movie, now's the time to go see it. It's older. Like I said, go check it out. It's free right now on Vudu. It's free right now on Tubi. All right, so go check it out. And then you can come back and watch the rest of this video. All right. But that, like I said, that's the premise of the movie. So 3 of my favorite scenes from this movie. It's definitely going to be, this may be out of order, I'm not sure, and this will definitely be spoilerish, okay? So 3 of my favorite scenes will be Melissa when she gets attacked by the dogs after being brutalized by Jacob Goodnight's character, all right? We see a situation where in which Melissa is hooking up with this guy named Russell, all right? Now, Jacob Goodnight's character becomes aware of this. He goes after them. They try to escape. Russell ends up tying a fire hose, right, around Melissa's torso, lower area, right? He slowly lets her down for the building so therefore she can escape. As he's doing so, she gets down pretty far. Then all of a sudden, we hear some noise. She gets pulled up slowly. We find out that Jacob Goodnight's character is now pulling her up and has already killed Russell. All right. Now, throughout the situation, ends up getting that she's trying to fight to get away, and her torso becomes detached from the hose and somehow ends up just tangling itself around her leg. So she's dangling upside down. Jacob Goodnight's character lets her go. She falls down, but she doesn't fall, hit the ground. She falls and just hangs. And when she ends up like hitting, like hanging like that, whoosh, when she lands the first time, bro, we see blood, we see bones broken out of her body, whatever else, right? All of a sudden, stray dogs come out of nowhere, start eating her up. Face attacked, arms attacked, everything attacked, bro. Brutal scene. And it was just great. It was great. So that'd be my first favorite scene. Second favorite scene would be Zoe swallowing the cell phone. All right. Now we have this character named Zoe. In a situation that I'm talking about, she ends up getting caught by Jacob Goodnight's character. He ends up grabbing her, choking her, putting her against the wall. Sees that she has a cell phone, grabs the cell phone, and sticks it in her mouth and pushes it down to make her swallow it. You see it engulfed in her throat, and her throat expands as she's sitting there, blood trickling out of her mouth, barely able to breathe, whatever, barely conscious. He drags her away. It's just brutal. It's crucial. It's kind of corny, but it just was like, when you see it, it's just like, oof, it's rough. I can only imagine that pain, you know what I'm saying? So that'd be my second favorite scene. My third favorite scene would be Jacob Goodnight's death. All right, now I'm going to say death because I don't want to spoil it. But let's be honest, there is a See No Evil 2. Now, whether that's a prequel or a sequel, I'll let you find that out. All right, so that's how far I'm going to go. But anyways, Jacob Goodnight's death. All right, we see that in the end of the situation, we have left It's Kira. It's uh, Michael, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe Christine. Okay, they're the three that's left. They end up encountering Jacob Goodnight for the final time throughout this big battle between Melissa. I'm sorry. Between Michael, Kira, Christine putting up a fight against Jacob. They end up kind of defeating him, knocking him out of this window. He gets a pole lunged into his eye, pops out through the back of his head. All right. Now keep in mind, he already has an injury to the back of his head from being shot in the very beginning of the movie, directly in the face. Hole coming out the back of his head. He's still alive, bro. Now, in this situation, like I said, he has that, but now he's got a big old pole that got stuck through his eye, bro. All the way through the back of his head. He's falling down the building. The pole is getting stuck on the parts of the building as it's falling. So it's making him lunge and fall, and just it was a crazy scene. And to see him fall all the way down from, the top to the bottom, hit the ground, and just seeing the things that happened to him with that pole stuck lunging to his eye, it made for a crazy scene. Okay, so that would be my 3 favorite scenes. All right, so the grade for this movie, I thought this movie was really, really good. You know what I'm saying? I saw this movie when it was in the movie theaters back in the day with my homie, especially being that this was a WWE release movie, because I used to be big into the WWE or WWF scene. So of course we go check this out. And the movie was what it was. It was great. Especially for that time, it really was reminiscent of the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? You watch this movie and you can kind of get a hint of what the early 2000s were like. Because like I said, this movie came out in 2006. So, like being all that, being that it does have very much so nostalgia for me because of just how when I watched it when I was younger, and just everything that it's meant to me. You know what I'm saying? So for me, this wasn't a bad movie. Even to today, these standards, watching it now today, it's not a bad movie at all. It's definitely worth your time. So for me, the grade I'm gonna give this is an 8 out of 10. So 8 out of 10, definitely above average, definitely worth your time. If you guys seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the movie, I suggest that you go check this out. And hopefully that you checked it out before I gave you the spoilers and then came back and watched the rest of this video. All right, but definitely, like I said, go check it out. It's worth your time. It's worth your time, man, for sure. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. But I just feel like this is a movie that a lot of people will enjoy, whether you know about Kane, whether you know about the WWE, whatever it may be. This story, this movie itself is just worth your time. And like I said, there's 2 movies. There's number 1 and number 2. So I'll be doing number 2 review very soon, but this is number 1 review. All right, See No Evil 1. All right. But if you guys seen the movie, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. What were some of your favorite scenes? Do you like this franchise? Do you think that they should continue this franchise? Do you think that they should redo this franchise? And then let me know, like I said, whether you have seen it before or whether you go back and see it, watch this video, come back. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys thought about it, all right? Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. As always, this is Q's Insight. I am Cali. Until next time.